Hello again and welcome back to another MCI Studio tutorial with me, Pippin Henderson. Today we're dealing with a more refined version of the automation tutorial we did quite a while back. If you did manage to watch that tutorial, you'll notice that we only dealt with volume. Today we're dealing with a little more detail and going inside an effect and seeing how automation can be used there. Rather than just hitting the automation button here and working with what's available right in front of you here, you can actually go inside effects here and start moving sliders and moving and altering sound in real time. And if you've got some faders in front of you, if you're working with a desk, or console, you can really hone that feel of actual moving actual sliders around and really getting used to how that can be used to create some really cool and funky sounds. So let's get into it. What we're going to do is going to unsolo this, and we're going to give you a quick listen to this dance track we have here. And I want you to bring your focus into this recording that we have here. It's going to break down, and all you're going to hear is this effect, and it's going to take us from this part of the song into this part. So let's have a quick listen. Hold your own head high. Step into light. Okay, there's a few things happening here. The first thing is you'll notice that when everything stops and you can hear this bit of music, it's being altered in a couple of ways. The first way is that it's being panned. So it's starting off at the left, it's panning over to the right, and then it's being centered again, and there's a volume automation happening there as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to come into the Sonitus effects here, and I'm just going to solo this track, bring it over to here. And I want you to have a look at the sliders here, and you'll see in a visual term what's actually happening. Have a look. Okay, as you can tell, the volume has been affected, but if you know briefly what automation is, you might be asking, well, why didn't you just move the volume slider here? A couple of reasons. Because this isn't actually just a volume automation happening here. If it was, all I'd be doing was all these would be centered and this would be way back over here, and all I would do is I'd hit the automation button here and then just drag up the volume. But as it happens, the volume's actually up here, and all these other sliders here, all these other bands are all the way down here, and they're being moved up, and this is actually being moved down, not up. So it seems like the volume's actually going quiet to loud, when actually it's not. It's actually going from quite a telephony effect and then getting slightly louder and more bassy. And the volume's up here because if I had it centered, that treble effect would actually be too quiet to hear. So it's actually, I need the volume up here, and then I need these to come up, and then as these are coming up and it's getting louder, I need the volume to come down to kind of balance out that effect. So that's what's happening there. And you can do that quite simply. It's the same process as you would do if you were to do an automation on volume. You'd hit the W, you'd place your cursor where you want to start the effect. You don't have to click record, remember, you just click the play button, and then when you want that effect to kick in, you just simply move. So if I was doing a volume automation here, I would just simply move that volume slider at the point within the track that I'd want it to be affected. The same thing applies if you're working inside an effect. You open it up, you hit the W, make sure it's red, you set your sliders at the point before you want it to be affected. With me, I wanted all these sliders down here and I wanted the volume up there. I actually did the volume after I did these sliders actually. You click play and then you alter these. If you're not working with a console and you haven't actually got physical sliders to move, and you're working with a mouse, if you want to move more than one, there is a technique to do it. It's pretty simple. You just, over here, you've got these circles here, and these represent the bands, 1 to 6, the same as here, 1 to 6. And you simply select the one, hit Control, and multi-select as many or as little bands as you want. You hit the W key, you hit the play, and then you simply drag one, and they all move at the same time. And that's how I did that. I started off down here and I clicked the play button, and then I gradually moved this up into the center position. I stopped it. I then went back, and then I did the volume. separately. That's how I did that. There's also a pan happening here, and that was pretty simple. I just clicked the W key here, put the cursor I wanted to start, I pressed the play button, and then I just moved the pan from the left position to the right position and then back into the center. So that's how I did. That's pretty simple. I don't want it to sound like I'm actually going over something I've already done before. I wanted you to realize that you can actually do it within effects as well. It's not just something that you have to just stick to volume and pan. There's this. It's not just that. There's a channel tools one. It's in the there's a automation in the channel tools. It's in pretty much every single effect, and that doesn't sound like much now. But when you start thinking, well, actually, if I have a phaser, and I want that phaser to only come in at a certain section and then go off again, you suddenly start realizing how much of a powerful tool automation actually is, and you can start realizing when you listen to tracks on the radio or on CDs, you start thinking, oh, that's how they did it, because that effect isn't all the way through the song. It comes in, it comes out, and it's all done with automation. It's a very, very, very powerful tool, and something you really should get used to mastering and getting used to. There's also this. We also have automation here on this kick drum. If I just solo this for you, have a listen. That's exactly the same effect as we had over here with the Sonitus. It's exactly the same thing that's going on here. As you can tell, that looks exactly the same already. And it just adds that kind of, that kind of hesitation. It's going from a telephone kind of very trebly effect, and it's getting more and more bassy as the song's coming on. And then there's a pause. We have that nice little bit here, and then it goes into a big piece. So let's have a listen to it again, and then you can kind of see how it all came together. Step into line, hold your own head high. Step into line. And there we are. And that's how we do that. I hope you've enjoyed it. We're really glad that we're back and starting to do a whole new range of tutorials now. So we're back on track, hopefully now. Really sorry for the delay. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Thank you so much for all your comments and your suggestions. We really honestly do read every single one, so please keep them coming, and if we can help, we will. But for now, thanks for joining us, and we will see you again next time. Goodbye.